Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, North Node. This is going to be a 2022 reading for you, Pisces. So if that's the sign in any of those placements, this is for you. Today we're going to do a few different things. First, we'll get a theme for you. Next, we'll do a 9-card spread together with the tarot. After that, I'll pose a question, we'll get some additional information, and then we'll close out with a final message, a major arcana card. So before we begin, Pisces, I do want to transmit some channeled information that I got for you. First of all, being that you're a water sign, I did get some keywords for the water signs in 2022. Those keywords were crystalline, water body, and leader. Crystalline, water body, and leader. So whatever that means or does not mean to you, Pisces, that could be relevant in this year. Next, one other message that I got collectively was that Pluto is going to be a big influence this year. Pluto will affect us all, and it would behoove you to work with that energy productively. So do whatever research, look into magic, whatever you're comfortable with or not. It's just a little heads up, a little secret tip that Pluto energy will be very powerful and can really help you progress further at this time. So let's begin. I have a theme card for you here, Pisces, and your theme is leadership, which is so interesting, being that I got leader as one of the keywords for the water sign. So that is a double message for you, Pisces, and I just heard triple because I think you're already feeling that. You're already feeling an inner knowing, a pressure to step up. So leadership. This card depicts the North Star. Also on this card is the polar bear, right? And the polar bear is an apex predator. And so that holds a lot of power and leading in a way, right? But the North Star being that guiding light that cultures all over the world have used to find their way. It's just a beacon of hope. It's not all those that wander are lost kind of vibe. It's a way to find your way back home, find your way to your true self, follow the North Star. There's a book, I believe it's some combination of like astrology and self-help, something about the North Star, follow your North Star. You might want to look into that book if that's something of interest to you. Leadership. So I'm going to go ahead and read to you from this passage so that you can get some additional messages here. Just as the North Star is a beacon for travelers in the dark of the night, you are a beacon for others. It's time to step into the light and take your leadership role. You are a teacher, steward, guardian, and healer, a true leader. Own these gifts. Come into the light. Don't hold back. Let the world see your light. The greatest leaders are those who know how to serve and act as stepping stones for others to reach their dreams. If you have been hiding in the background, it's time to break out and become the light for others. Through this, your star shines brighter. That's beautiful, Pisces. So we'll come back to this card later on. We're going to go ahead and do a 9-card spread for you now, to see what sorts of energies you're working through, dealing with, moving toward in 2022. I was feeling intuitively that some of you are working on a project, and part of the reason you're afraid to bring this project into the light is because you don't want to hurt anybody. You know, there could be something sensitive about the topic, and you are concerned about, you really don't want to hurt anybody is what I'm getting. And it's more than not wanting to offend anybody, because this is coming from love. This project is done with love, but it's that maybe the topic is a little bit difficult, and you're afraid of the reception that some might have. And I want to say to you that if this is for you, if this is a very high vibe thing, I think that whatever it is will benefit the world more than it will the people that it does upset. And it might upset some people. It seems like something difficult. And so, you know, it's not to take away from their experience, but it's just that, you know, sometimes difficult art exists, difficult writing exists, difficult work exists, or like calling out injustices, it exists, and it can be hard, but it's necessary sometimes. And if you're being called into a leadership role in that way, this is especially apt for you. Phew. I feel much better now that I've gotten that out. Also, when I was meditating on your energy, I was getting like a floating through space, being underwater kind of feeling. And that's when I went back to the keywords that I got, water body, because initially for the water signs, I got the word light body, but it wasn't quite right. And when I was meditating, I felt being in that water, and it was like, there's something about like a crystalline structure. It's an energy thing. So this is going to sound a little weird, but it's an energy thing, and it's like embodying that energy. And maybe that's your power in order to project it to the world. I was also feeling quite emotional. Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, North Node. 9-card spread for Pisces, 2022. Temperance, look at that. Tempering of the water. I'm being drawn immediately to the irises on this card. So if that flower has a significance to you, this is an important message. Maybe the name Iris. Iris, that song. 2 of Pentacles. The Star. With the Star, I'm getting Aquarius energy from it and something about Aquarius season. So if you're viewing this in real time in Aquarius season, this is especially important. Maybe you'll make that decision to really come into your leadership role at that time of Aquarius season. Or at some point when the moon is in Aquarius. So I guess that could be in the summertime when we have a, I guess, new moon in Aquarius. During Leo season at some point that'll happen, right? Something about Aquarius season or Aquarius moon is important. 9 of Pentacles. The Chariot, and the Princess of Pentacles. And this came out reversed, and I don't generally read reversals. I keep all of my cards upright. However, if they do come out reversed and I'm guided to take it that way, I will. And in this case, I'm going to, because I'm feeling some hesitation about, you know, the Princess of Pentacles, the Page of Pentacles, traditionally, it's very small. It's like an offer or a creation or something of that sort. And it's always about like presenting it in some way, you see? And in this case, not presenting it is what I feel like. Oh, and I just put it down upright. And this time I'm being drawn to the daffodils, it looks like. Ooh, so these are all springtime flowers, right? Also, aren't irises and daffodils both, they come from bulbs? So it could be something about like, metaphorically speaking, about growing roots, like a bulb root system. Maybe it's that idea. I think you bury those sorts of flowers in the winter time, and then in the spring they just come up, but you bury them in the winter time, kind of like the time when you at least think that's when you would, you know, be working with plants. But you sort of do it, forget about it, and then they magically come up. And it's something about that. It could be like, I guess, a seed you planted. Forgive me for mixing metaphors here, right? But it's something about a seed, a bulb you planted will be growing. And right now you could be really deep, dark in the earth, in like a dark space, as in you're hidden, it's secretive. You haven't brought it to light, because leadership is bringing it to light, and that's maybe what you're being asked to do, but you might prefer to float around in your watery Piscean, ways. So it's not being brought to light at this time, but maybe that's what you're being asked to do. Seven of Wands. I feel you're already anticipating having to defend yourself from critics, from skeptics, from naysayers, from people who don't like whatever it is you're putting out. But you're defending yourself preemptively, like in your mind. And it's kind of, I'm getting a spinning the wheels kind of vibe. I don't think it's actually helpful. Wow. This is really specific, but I just got a phrase from a song by Bright Eyes, and it's, I do not read the reviews, I'm not singing for you. And I'm pretty sure Connor Oberst is a Pisces, and also that song is called Let's Not Shit Ourselves to Love and to Be Loved, if anyone is curious. Yeah, it's about putting yourself out there despite the critics, despite the reviews. Like that song saying, I don't read the reviews. Maybe that's something you have to do. There's like artists and writers and I'm sure like political activists all throughout time who have not read what's written about them because it could be really horrible. But they know that their work is important enough because the people on the ground that care about them and whose work has affected them directly will find a way to tell them how much it means to them, right? And that's what matters. That's what matters. And you're going to see that as soon as you put it out, give it some time. Like that's the response you're going to get. 10 of Cups. I'm feeling February is really important for you. Either this one or next, maybe. Did one flip? I felt like it flipped, but I'm not sure it did. All right, final. Oh, we've got two. We've got the Emperor and the Queen of Wands. So you've got a 10-card spread, Pisces. I just want to make sure that there's not something I'm missing because I really felt it. We'll take it. 10-card spread. The 10 could mean something about a beginning and an end, like making that choice to get out of the dark and bring yourself forward. So Pisces, give me just a moment to go over these cards. This is all pretty positive, I have to tell you. I think that any hesitation or what feels like you could label it as negativity could be coming from you in the sense that it's your anxious back and forth energy. And in fact, what's interesting is when I was preparing to do the water sign readings today, I'm doing them in a certain order, and another sign was really urgently wanting to come forth and speak first. And I felt Pisces really retreating back, kind of like in a way that, it's like when you're in the classroom and you don't want to put your hand up. It's kind of one of those things. And you're like, thankfully, someone else speaks before you have to. It's kind of that feeling, like saved by the bell almost. So any of that is coming from within. It's that back and forth energy of anxiety. And I just felt very emotional again. Oh my gosh. I'm not a Pisces, but I have to ask you, is this what it's like all the time? Because it's really hard. I could cry. This back and forth is really affecting you. And look, we have it again with the water, temperance. this angel is tempering this spirit substance here. And maybe that's what you're being asked to do. Instead of being in this very 3D back and forth, like, I just feel like, I know this is an earth card, the Pentacles, but I'm feeling an air energy with this Two of Pentacles. Like, it's just, I feel the wind sweeping as this figure moves. So it's really stirring some shit up for you. It's stirring some shit up for you. So, okay, I want to ask you, can you go back to a time, maybe when you were young, and you had a creation you wanted to show and you were excited about it, and you did, and the response was not what you wanted to get? Like, maybe it was critical, or maybe it just wasn't as enthusiastic as you had hoped, because you had put your love, your heart, your soul into it, as you always do, Pisces. That's your brilliant strength. Can you, like, go back to that? Maybe sit with it. Maybe get in bed and cry about it. Get in a bath and feel it out. Really go back and think about it. Because I think that tapping into that memory can almost help you cry through it, process through it, water it out, cleanse it, so that you can move forward with whatever it is now in your current life. Because it's very important, this bulb that you have planted. Oh my gosh, and the star, look at this. All three cards in your top row are these two things. Like, this is the water bearer. This is Aquarius. That's the pitcher of water being poured back into the little lake there and onto the earth. Another form of balance. That's really strange. I've never gotten all three of these cards at once and noticed them in that way. Can you see that? That's really weird. You also might be being asked, like, how can you water yourself? So if you are giving out a lot, how can you water yourself with energy? Because that's what Aquarius is really good at. That, or just this star figure, that energy of Aquarius, I should say. It's about giving to others and also retreating into the self and being able to replenish oneself. All three of these cards have water in them and have to do with a balancing. So you're really, really being asked to balance yourself. And instead of using that energy of back and forth to create mental conflict, I'm seeing the Five of Wands. It's instead to create flow. Create flow, do not create conflict within the self. Knight of Pentacles, the Chariot, and the Princess of Pentacles. I feel you and see you moving forward. Maybe at first you're kind of in the garden cultivating, and then, with this Princess of Pentacles, I'm feeling like a moment of divine inspiration almost. It's kind of like the Ace of Pentacles. It's kind of like a gift from the divine feeling here. And it's a moment of inspiration. Maybe it's a passage or a quote in a book, or an inspirational, motivational thing. Maybe that someone just sends you, or you catch on social media, and it's just something that hits you so deep inside that makes you realize that you have to move forward with this Chariot. It's kind of, because it's a divine calling, right? The North Star, following that inner guidance, following that guiding light from the divine. It's moving forward according to that. And so it's bigger than you, and you know that. And I mean, Pisces, you're like the oldest, most ancient kind of sign of the zodiac, right? So you've been around the block a time or two, and you really feel that. Like, you could be called to a higher calling, to a fault almost, right? That's why Pisces could be so dangerous, because you can really lose yourself in something that's bigger than you. That water, that deep, dark water, it can really suck you in. But this feels very positive. Seven of Wands, 10 of Cups, and the Emperor, as well as the Queen of Wands. I was initially feeling with the Seven of Wands like defending yourself preemptively. However, what's so great is that now, after we've talked it through, I feel it as like you as a warrior cutting through things and just moving forward no matter what. And actually, in fact, there might be a message here about doing some sort of fighting training or martial arts training in order to sort of gas yourself up or like get into that fighting spirit. It's weird, but it's sort of that combination of that watery Piscean thing and then like this physical training, if that's something that's possible for you. Even Tai Chi, I see. Something like that. It kind of gives you a guidance in order to move your energy and move through the world. Unrelated to that, I just see you cutting through what needs to be done and moving forward, and whatever detractors are here, you're kind of fighting them off. And in fact, I really feel like it's internal. It's coming from your mind. It's like all those voices of other people that don't really exist, but they're the potential critics, and you're fighting through that. And here is your success. Success is, I'm defining for you in this reading as presenting your gift, your creation to the world, and showing how proud you are, that proud abundance of this 10 of Cups. Look at this figure here. She is just so pleased to be presenting this vase, and there's so much like divine spiritual energy coming into and out of it. And that, I feel, is your success. And like, maybe it's your showcase. Maybe it's like that moment of reveal to the world. That's what it is. And the Emperor and Queen of Wands, I mean, the Emperor, you know, that is the boss. That is, look, we got leader as one of your keywords. And the Queen of Wands, like creative genius, right? And like very confident and proud. Lots of fire with these two, right? But it's just about embodying that sort of energy and putting your foot down. When I looked at this Emperor, I saw him like put his sword down in a very heavy way. And that's sort of like how you're going to present after you've unveiled this thing. This is going to be your energy. Is sort of like, it's very big dick energy, I have to tell you. It's sort of like putting that down and sitting back and showing off what you've done. Not in a flamboyant way, because I can't even imagine you doing that, really, Pisces, but in a like proud and confident, quiet way, which is gorgeous. So we'll get a little bit more additional information for you. But first, let's pause for a moment, Pisces. And I want to pose a question to you. So take a moment, get out a notebook, type some notes in your phone. Think about this for a moment. Where can you meet the universe halfway? Where can you meet the universe halfway? That's the question I have for you, Pisces. And I think it's an important one to think about in 2022. What I feel intuitively to guide you with is that in life, if we take those small steps towards what it is we want or what we want to put out there or what we want to use as our divine calling, Spirit and the universe will meet us with our blessings. And so it's just putting in those few steps or many steps, a lot of work or some, in order to show that you are moving towards it. So that is not meant to be prescriptive. I was just giving a little bit more explanation of what I had channeled. So where can I meet the universe halfway? Take a moment and think about that. We'll have a conversation with your energy when you get back. I heard for someone it is putting that thing out there, and that is the meeting it halfway. It's about having the confidence and the willingness to take that risk to be seen. For some of you, I just got it's to ask about an opportunity, and that's your version of meeting the universe halfway. Maybe you're feeling very shy and nervous, and you finally go into that business and you say, hey, can I have an application? Or are you hiring? Or how is it to work here? Something like that. That's your version of meeting the universe halfway. Any additional information for Pisces? What's interesting is that, quite honestly, Pisces, I'm feeling that we kind of went over everything that you need to know. I feel like we really did a lot of work together right now. And we've gotten you somewhere good. I did hear someone just ask about love and relationships, so let me see what I can get. I'm being drawn to the Star card. If that's not of interest to you, we'll continue on with more practical and spiritual matters as well. 6 of Wands. Oh, excuse me, 6 of Swords. I misspoke. I was looking at the Queen of Wands when I said that. Is that about love and romance? Some of you might be moving on from a relationship. And once again with this Star card, more than usual, I'm getting Aquarian energy from it. So you could be moving on from an Aquarius, or you yourself have Aquarius traits. And you're tapping into that in order to move on. Ace of Pentacles. Ace of Pentacles fell on the 9 of Pentacles. 9 of Pentacles being, this is a single person living their best life. We've got the Ace and the Princess now. Perhaps your singledom is a gift. It's a gift, and you'll see it that way. Maybe you feel complete on your own. That makes the 10. Maybe you feel complete on your own and you create this legacy for your own self. Or maybe it's that there is another person that makes you add up to the 10 here. But it's like you already have a whole lot of what you need. And this is just a small piece of the puzzle in order to get to this. Whew. Okay. This is going to be a side message. 7 of Swords just fell on this Ace, this 10, and this 9. Once again, you could be really stepping out of a situation in order to become single this year. Because honestly, primarily, I'm feeling a lot of spiritual energy for you and creative energy for you. And that's mostly what I'm feeling in 2022. And perhaps it's that if this is for you, whatever relationship you were in, if you're exiting one or thinking of exiting one, if you're happily partnered, that's different. If that was the case, they could have been holding you back from your potential in the sense that, like, one of the critical voices that you were defending yourself against was them. Maybe they were the naysayer in your life about your creative project, about your activism, about your career aspirations. They were that negative critic. They were saying those words or thinking those words, and you could just kind of pick up on it. We can't technically read people's minds. We need to talk about it, but from different comments they made, you inferred what they really thought. And it seems really harmful and really hurtful, and I'm sorry about that. But if that is the case, I feel you exiting that situation very strongly. And it's kind of like you create this legacy on your own. And for some of you, you're going to get the pet. And it's kind of like you're happy and complete in your entirety. Just you and your pets and your home and your career, your job, and your spiritual practice. Like, it is complete. It is the 10 on your own. And I know a lot of people say this 10 has to do with like partnership, family, etc. But I'm feeling for you, it's really you on your own, perhaps with some animal friends here. Others of you could be moving into a family home. So you could be moving into like, you know, a parent's home or something, an intergenerational situation. I just got a sister's home, like a sister and brother-in-law. And together, that household that you create is going to be very fulfilling and complete for you. And I think it feels very positive. With this Seven of Swords, I do feel you stepping out of something. For some, that was a bad situation. If it wasn't a romantic partner, it might have been like a roommate or something like that. All right, we've got the Devil. This is going to be a side thing, and I just want to go over it very quickly. King of Cups, King of Pentacles, Ace of Swords, King of Swords, Five of Pentacles. Well, there's a lot of people in this. Ooh, this is different. This could be especially relevant if you are a gay man or you're a man who dates men. There are two men here. These two men are not you. You're coming through as the King of Swords. These two men who are having some sort of relationship, it is not a positive relationship. It's a toxic relationship, and it's kind of more about obsession. It's a dark energy, and I won't get into it. Right? It's not true love, I just have to say. If it were, I would speak honestly. I feel one of these was your partner, and you as the King of Swords are coming through to cut out that situation. Maybe some of you were kind of like coerced or talked into an open relationship, and that's what came of it, and it's not for you anymore, and you're headed out. You're headed out. And like I said, it's possible that you're going to get the pets, and you're going to be perfectly happy and content on your own with your pets and whatever sort of home situation you find yourself in. Like I said, that is very specific, not for everybody, but it came through extremely clearly, so I had to get it out. All right, Pisces. Five of Cups with the Emperor here. I think that person will eventually be very sad about the choice that they made to kind of uncommit from you, if you will. But, you know, that's not your problem. You'll rectify or not the situation when you see fit. Judgment, exactly. Rectify it or not. Move on. The choice is yours. I don't think you're concerned about it in 2022, Pisces. I think you're really concerned about your legacy, what it is you have to offer, and yeah, the way that the world is going to see it. And I feel that it's going to be a great success in the sense that you're going to be very proud of it. You're going to want to show it, and you're going to be able to ward off any negativity generated from within. Okay? So, in order to close out your message, Pisces, I want to get you one major arcana card. Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, North Node, 2022. What is the card Pisces needs to see for their best and highest good, Spirit? Thank you. I felt that one for you. The Moon. That is your card, Pisces, right? Ooh, look at this. Once again, there are two dogs here. So I feel that the animals could be very important. But besides that, it's that you're headed for something, you're working on something. I'm trying to translate the words. You're in search of something higher than yourself. You're embodying something. You're an example of something much higher than yourself. That's what I feel with these hieroglyphs here, kind of in the ether. it's kind of like matrix energy. And it's sort of seeing through the veil and seeing things that not all can see. And you're in search of that. You're embodying that. And that's a path. That's a calling. And that's very important for you. And I see this little kind of scorpion crawfish figure here as being the one who can see through that veil. See, it's like interposed. It's not through the veil. It's like a plane, and these things are interposed on it. And you've got these two sort of guides almost helping you. Protectors, guides, whatever. It's very powerful. And it's beyond light and dark. So it's just it's a small message going back to the beginning of the reading when I said that some of you are kind of concerned about the reception of your images, I just heard, but your work, because it could be a little difficult. But whatever it is that you're seeing, embodying, working with, being an example of, it's beyond light and dark. And, you know, there is that like kind of higher energy of the universe. If you've tapped into it, you know. And that's what I see for you, Pisces. I'm going to go ahead and read you the description because these often are strange and different. The moon, disappointment. False security in no way protects one from hidden danger. Visions, eccentricity, traps, dreams, insincere relationships. Yeah, what I'm feeling especially is that visions and eccentricity, that's exactly what I was feeling with this card. In terms of the insincere relationships, I feel that you're getting yourself out of that, frankly. So that won't be relevant for you very much longer. Okay, Pisces. Thank you so much. And I hope to see you again soon. Take care. Bye.